bees inside. That's right, not the AirPods he'd ordered, but what looks like two shower heads. While some online have argued that this particular example may have been saved for last, there's no denying the abundance of very real instances of people being sorely disappointed when buying from Wish. Take this unfortunate soul, for example, who ordered a giant, chunky knit blanket only to receive this instead of a luxurious looking throw. It seems as though this customer received just a single strand out of the whole blanket, or this measuring device, known as Vernier calipers, which, upon arrival, didn't even have the advertised digital display. And how about this rug, which was vastly different both in size and color from the advertising? Then there's these horrifying masks, disappointing mouses, dreadful dresses, ridiculously tiny rings, the list goes on. It's pretty troubling that sites like Wix are able to get away with the blatant lies they advertise. And while a few false advertising lawsuits have been levied against Wish.com, none have resulted in anything but a win for Wish. Until major government organizations step in to prevent Wish's particular brand of online deception, it's likely that online consumers will continue to receive ropes instead of blankets and other wacky surprises from the lucky dip that is buying Wish products. Root of the problem. Hair product adverts are everywhere, on TV, billboards, and social media alike. After seeing the sleek and glossy results shown in these advertisements, it's no wonder consumers are desperate to get their hands on whatever product is being advertised. However, almost everyone ends up a bit disappointed when their hair ends up looking not bad, but just okay. Nothing like the hyper glossy strands they were expecting. And that's because hair ads are notorious for some super sneaky tricks to make models' hair look out of this world. In hair ads, shine is often communicated through a line of beaming light that runs through the hair, usually in slow motion. To achieve this, hair advert producers will call in some help from a green screen, along with a couple of guys armed with long sticks to help the model squish their perfectly placed strings. As these invisible sticks move through the air, it creates a shiny bar. Highlights how bright your hair can really look if put directly under student lighting, of course. Meanwhile, invisible hairstylists can blend warp suits, manipulate the model's hair to move in a way that it is unable to naturally. These green suits mean that the stylists can be edited out of the scene, so it will look as though the hair is bouncing completely of its own accord as the model walks along. So the next time you see one of these ads, just remember that there's likely an invisible man running around in a hair-flicking frenzy or moving a curved quad for extra cinematic bounce. And if truly perfect hair is your one dream in life, all you need is a professionally lit studio, a couple of full-weird dudes in green work suits, and around 100 crew members to follow you around all day. Practical. Bare-faced lies. The technical side of producing an appealing advert is one thing, and you may be willing to accept some levels of exaggeration when it comes to marketing, but sometimes things just get taken too far. The rise of social media has meant that just about anyone can start a company and set up a page showcasing their products, and that includes scammers, like the ones responsible for this online ad for green stick cleansing face mask. Now, if you're even questioning whether or not any of that was remotely real, you clearly haven't been paying attention. These ads show what seems to be a miracle face mask that will suck out any and all impurities from beneath the skin's surface. The printed results completely ridiculous, but whoever made these crazy videos has clearly only just discovered their editing software's blur today. These deceptive ad creators have gone to extreme lengths to manufacture the desired effect needed to convince potential customers. But looking a little closer, it becomes clear that the models in these shots are caked with thick makeup, while the video's darkness and contrast are pushed to the maximum to replicate the look of highly textured looking skin that's covered in deep, dark blackheads. Not only that, but they appear to be using chia seeds and masquerading them as skin extractions to add even more pigment to their final modulated satisfaction. which itself is merely a product of a very obvious usage of video editing blurring tools used to mimic flawless skin. But is there any truth to the green stick face mask claim of clear skin? Well, reviewers from Darkness Young had quite the experience when she decided to test one. And it wasn't because she had a hard time replicating the seamless wipes seen in the adverts.
Oh my God, this is horrific.
Surprise, surprise, the mask did not perform anywhere near as well as in the ads. And Shundar was very disappointed with her results.
The house scrubbed off for $13. It is not going to help your skin.
Not only did the mask not work at all, but Shundar had some really side effects that go to show that you're always better off buying from a reputable retailer.
This is highly irritated, like I want to scratch it.
Now, while the infamous green stick mask is bad enough, there are other face masks out there that produce instantaneous effects that can't be achieved by purely quality professionals. This ad, for example, shows a truly horrifying clip of a woman who looks to be having a whole layer of skin peeled off, where you portray a product that can peel away freckles and hyperpigmentation in the skin. YouTuber James Welch burst the myth of the blatant lies behind this product by recreating a similar effect using a simple peel-off mask and eyebrow. As dermatology expert James explains, not only would the process of peeling away freckles in this way be completely agonizing, but it isn't even possible. Pigmentation and freckles go way deeper than just our first layer. And the removal of these conditions can only be achieved with professional chemical peels and surgery. It's like feeling a few desperate online customers. So you guys like this are pretty easy to spot with a little common sense. And thankfully, people like Shandara and James are all too willing to take a complete mask off approach in exposing them for what they are. I know the truth. This next ad's tactics to show off their products are pretty below the belt, to say the least. As we've seen already, social media can be notoriously bad for promoting misleading ads, but it can also be a very useful tool to expose advertisements' underhand antics. This behind the scenes look at a sportswear shoot uncovers the truth behind the supposedly perfect bodies we are often confronted with online. That's right, those are indeed butt pads being used to fill out the model's tightly fitting gym leggings to give her rear end all the necessary attributes that are apparently required to really sell those leggings. I mean, it's probably time to go back to the drawing board when you've created a product that even the model can't make look as intended naturally. I'm sure that's going to make regular people feel just great when they go to try them. But I find it impossible to recreate the appearance of the advertised images. Talk about unattainable beauty standards. What's even stranger is that no one on set seems to be bothered that their dirty little secret is being filmed. Maybe it goes to show how shameless these guys really are when it comes to their marketing tactics. Unfortunately, it's not clear who the question is behind this display is. Accurately added this section, but the fact that the process seems so slim, relaxed, and effortless certainly makes you wonder how many other companies are doing the exact same thing. And this is just part of the process. What is it marketing lies about that? We discovered. Perhaps we never. What have we learned? What is that? Just assuming that pretty much any advert is a complete lie and every marketing department is pure evil? Well, maybe not quite that bad. But if what we've seen in this video is anything to go by, it's certainly not far from reality. You know, crazy idea, I know, but maybe going to the store and trying before you buy is the new way to think. But it's certainly help avoid a repeat of this debacle. Have you spotted any ads in the wild that blatantly lie? Which ones annoy you the most? Please leave in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Just one small, really simple job. You know, manage to get it wrong somehow. Like you ask them to load the dishwasher, and they think this is what it is. Or you could ask them to do the laundry and find it putting an entire bag of pretzel sticks in with the rest of the work. No, if you thought that was weird, it's only about to get weirder. From incredible idiocy to insanity. It's hard to laugh at people who just had one job, still managed to screw it up. Okay, I want to introduce you all. This is Antonio. Antonio just helped put down his room. And it looks like a real solid, well-laid road. Good job, Antonio. Only there's a gate over there that closing. And, like Antonio didn't account for the fact that adding a thick layer of asphalt to the ground might raise it to the point where you can't flow. I guess there's only one question left to ask. What do you like, Antonio? Did he just that was either a very good chicken impression or Antonio's just as confused as to how he makes this the rest of us. When you refer to bathroom, the plumber will usually advise you what materials to use or size everything needs to be. When unqualified people who think they know better try to manage this stuff, they can end up with pretty obvious problems. Like this guy who installed a fancy new faucet, but didn't consider the angle of the new water flow. Now, who needs a sink when you have a perfectly good drain in the floor there? Now, I'm not I'm not that person. I have no idea if it's a leaking faucet or whatever set of shelves. Now, that said, I think even I know which way round the toilet is. Unlike whether it's this way. I don't think it's smart to take it off right way around. Otherwise, this person gets for the red, green, or for but is it like the person responsible for this actually clearly only getting half of that. Okay, let's try to apply some logic to this situation. Either this bathroom was converted into two smaller rooms. Someone spent several hours painstakingly and perfectly erecting a well-fitted drywall around the toilet, which they couldn't remove for reasons, or whoever's job it was to install this toilet took the term flat bath way too literally. I mean, I guess might be. No, I'm not fine. What do you think? For drywall disaster, hit that like button. And for insane installation, that subscribe button. All done. Alright, what other jobs that people manage to mess up in computers when it's possible? Well, I wouldn't be surprised if whoever installed that toilet seat also put the plastic lid
Who wants to join BFA?
right there. The area is even blocked out in white so you know exactly where it's going to go. To be fair, this was probably a factory machine error that flipped the carton the wrong way around during some part of the production. But still, once the quality control manager the factory blind, or does not care about the freshness of a man's news. Sometimes you can't trust an idiot to do one simple job. You can do it yourself. Except you can turn out to be that idiot if you don't check what you're doing, as this next guy found out. He decided he was going to install a keyhole into one of the doors in his home. Only he didn't check which way around the door was before he cut the hole. So when he went to reattach it, this happened. Well, well, I think you're probably gonna pay someone to come fix this mistake. Either that, this cat's gonna have to learn how to jump 6 feet straight up. If you've been abroad, you might have bought a T-shirt with the place you visited emblazoned on it as a souvenir. Nice way to remember your trip, right? Okay, so riddle me this. Where in the hell is this T-shirt meant to be from? For a start, that is an outline of Africa, famously an entire continent, not a country. And second, that says Asia, which is an entirely different continent. I have several questions. Who designed this? Who designed this? And finally, who designed this? No wonder this thing was found in the sale section. No matter how old you are or where you come from, we all know Pikachu, the iconic little yellow electric mouse Pokemon. At least I assumed we all did, because whoever put together this Pikachu amiibo figure has clearly never seen a Pikachu before in their life. Somehow they managed to switch the little creature's tail and ears around, leaving it more like a rejected Teletubby design over a Pokemon. Suddenly, I don't want to touch them all. When people list products online, all they have to do is show a photo of what the product actually looks like and then send you that product. It doesn't sound too hard, but it's easier said than done, as Reddit user MattBond1 discovered. A fan of the stop-motion duo Wallace and Gromit, they ordered a cheap coffee mug online in the shape of Gromit's head. But what they actually got was, well, it was a picture of a Gromit-shaped mug on a normal mug. I can't tell if it was a swindler trying to cash in on the weirdly specific Wallace and Gromit mug fandom, or if someone genuinely thought people wanted a picture of a mug on a mug. Wait, I think I've seen this film before. Yeah, the mug section. Road painters have pretty straightforward and weirdly satisfying jobs. Occasionally, the role involves laying down paint or pencil and painting within lines, or just pressing a button on a slow-moving line painting machine to dispense the perfectly unbroken line of paint. Now, I've never done this job anyway, but it seems pretty intuitive to assume that if there's something in the way, you should leave it before painting. Otherwise, you end up with scenes like this. I think the biggest insult to this bike owner is that they changed the color of the paint while still spraying the concert. Would it really affect too much to just move the bike onto the sidewalk? Fairly certain it wasn't super glued to the rack. And speaking of things that could easily have been moved out of their coat sprayer, really, moving a few pieces of dog food too long, at least, I'm assuming that's dog food. Repairing a hole in a brick wall can be a real pain. The bricks filling the hole need to be cut to size, and then everything has to be shoved into place like one giant jigsaw puzzle. Clearly, the process was too much work for the person who was asked to fill this hole. It looks like they turned up, realized they couldn't fit the bricks in lengthwise, and then played Tetris with them instead, shoving them in anywhere they fit and calling it a job done. And then nobody actually paid for that stuff. Maybe I've been being too skeptical. Maybe these jobs are too hard to get right. Or maybe, just maybe, people are stupid. Because I don't know about you, but I've never forgotten that the handle goes on the outside of the mug. I really don't want to put this down to some sort of machine error. But mass-made ceramic mugs like this are mainly produced by hand through a series of mold firing processes. This is because the materials and designs are too delicate and complex for machines to process alone. There's no button to push that inserts a handle or folds the body of a cup to roll and way around. That's all down to a human. So someone must have put that handle inside that cup deliberately, and I hate it. Now back in my youth, which was so long ago, I swear, the dinosaurs were. I used to have a partner dog, taking birth. It's pretty easy. Open a bun, word competent, background, cheese, fun. It's literally that simple. Though it looks like someone over at McDonald's was trying to reinvent this process when they added cheese to the outside of this filet-o-fish sandwich. Was was lifting up the top of the bun somehow too hard? Well, we shouldn't be that surprised. After all, someone else working at this famous fast food franchise had a simple job of flying the McDonald's flag. You know, the one with the big ham on it that stands pretty unmistakably for McDonald's. It's not a W for McDonald's. Initially, I thought this might have been part of McDonald's Women's Day PR stunt, where they flipped flags and signs all over the U.S. to show their support for women in 2018. Yeah, It's a pretty lame gesture considering they just come under heavy fire that year for sweeping claims of female employee harassment under the rug. But this image was uploaded a good year before the marketing initiative took hold. That said, maybe this actually inspired the PR stuff. The cycle of stupidity continues. Well, putting the flag upside down is a simple mistake to make. Forgetting an entire arch from the famous Golden Arches is another level of dumb. Or at least it would be if it weren't intentional. It turns out the famous Golden Arches logo originates from the 1950s McDonald's building designs, which had two illuminated arches on either side of the roof to make them stand out. The Golden Arches weren't incorporated into the logo until 1962, and to this day, some 12 McDonald's locations, long-standing spots that have existed since the 50s, sport signs with just one original arch that used to make up the iconic buildings. But even with all that said, seeing the single arch makes me want to call it McDonald's. There's something about a popsicle shaped like a cartoon character that just makes it taste superior. Sadly, you don't always get what's promised on the box, or at least the guy who bought this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ice cream didn't. Poor Raphael just doesn't know which way he's looking. If the quality inspector responsible for this batch really gives this Prophet Crusader the green light, well, at least it has the right number of gumball eyes, like SpongeBob over here. What kind of ice cream is that, I wonder? It's like, man, the little yellow minions from the film franchise Despicable Me are so popular that their designs have found their way onto just about everything. Frogs and pasta shapes. People have even baked their designs into cake. Mhm. Although this doesn't always go to plan. Oh, God. Why would you give it teeth like that? You had one job to make a cute birthday cake for one of many designs, most of which don't have teeth and don't look like they crawled out of hell. Why make it look like it's half minion, half meat grinder? But at least an attempt was made here. Unlike what Reddit user Cats and Jeeps, they asked a local bakery to make them a cake in the shape of a Nintendo Switch console for their daughter's birthday. However, the order was passed on to a different baker who, for some reason, wasn't given the instructions, and so what Cats received was different. It might be a world apart from what they asked for, but there is an edible photo of the reference picture of the Switch console Katzen took on the cake. Katzen sneezed, and the very boomer image of someone taking a picture of the Switch. Just what every 8-year-old wants. Now, our society isn't built well to accommodate people with mobility issues. With that said, I don't think that flipping a set of stairs over like this is the solution. Those ramps are so steep, any wheelchair user will need to be on X Games mode to use them. What seems to have happened here is that the stair sections came prefabricated and were wrapped up to protect them. Unable to see them, the installation crew had to guess which way up they went, and they guessed wrong. Well, either that or the stairs were designed by M.C. Escher. Now, even on a good day, elevators cause me some anxiety because I'm claustrophobic. However, I think I feel ease on this elevator because someone as equally as claustrophobic as me installed not one, not two, but three open door call buttons. Wait, hang on. What if these buttons don't actually mean that though? Where's the button that keeps the door closed? And which one actually keeps it open? Oh no. This has turned into a game of Russian elevator roulette. Yeah, I think I'll take a scanner soon. We could all do with getting a bit more exercise, but whoever picks up this bike in an attempt to cycle their way to health, won't be going anywhere further into life. Yeah, those pedals are definitely difficult to push. Use the levers achieved by pushing down on one pedal to help bring the other pedal around, which is why pedals usually get 180 degrees from one another. Anyone trying to ride this bike would soon see how difficult it is to gain momentum without that all important leverage. Not impossible, but Very slow. Funny to watch. You know my favorite thing about college football is the cheerleaders. They're relentlessly happy. Their routines are super peppy, and their timing is immaculate. With that, then, not every cheerleader gets it right, as we know that in fucking Irish know all too well. Oh boy. To be fair, this cheerleader had probably been flipped around in the air so many times by this point in this match, he might not have known which way was up. Give me an O, give me a G. What does that spell? No. No, seriously, what is it spelling? Too busy to think there. Okay, pop quiz. What are the key components of a fork? A handle, top section, and prong, right? We forgot one of those key phrases here, and they're looking at the thing on the price here. What is the line fully automated these days? The majority of for assured quality control. So either the person in charge of quality control was or he was perfectly retired and studied. Somehow it's the jobs that are done ever so slightly wrong that can be the most infuriating. Don't believe me? Think what it is. In this sea of perfectly aligned floor tiles, someone really couldn't be bothered to turn this 90 degrees to fit the pattern of the others. And now the rest of us are frustrated, which is really frustrating, but not half as frustrating as the tactile paving on this train platform in the UK is. They want to scream. I double checked if it might be an accessibility reason for this, but UK trains and their carriages are different lengths. So this is definitely not a designated gathering point for the visually impaired, which leaves me asking why? Oh, why this section could not have been rotated around to match the others? Okay, I need your help with this one because I can't figure out which job wrong. Did someone install this public restroom dryer here an inch away from the top of the cabinet? Or, I guess, joke? Or was the cabinet installed after the dryer, while deeper than first expected? It was just put there. No matter how I look at it, I just keep getting mad. Someone knew what they were doing and didn't need to put the dryer somewhere else or install the cabinet somewhere else so the dryer isn't useless. I guess the head of that dryer is designed to swivel, but that's not the point. Orange cones or traffic cones are often used to cordon off areas that are about to undergo work. And when that work commences, it takes just one person to remove them. All they have to do is move them out of the way. Such a simple, easy task. What could possibly go wrong? Ah, well, let's be fair. Two people failed at the job they had here. Someone didn't pick up the cone, and the other person thought it was completely acceptable to lay concrete around. Looks like this one thing will be forever. What does the word private mean?
What? How?
Protected or exclusive? In which case, I'm struggling to figure out how the fencing around this supposedly private pool is private at all, despite having a carefully installed gate, complete with a pin-coated entry pad. A knee-high wall is all that separates people from the other side of the gate. Rendering what is
So,
I realize there's a wacky great tool next to the security provision they were putting in place. Or maybe the contractor installing it was told them. Whoever's faulted it, it's safe to say this is a public pool now. Does anyone watching know more than one or two languages? Because I could use your help translating exactly what in God's name went wrong with this product. In English, these are glow-in-the-dark stars, a kind of decoration that contains sculptures with radiant light that they've gotten energy from a source of very bright light. They can make your ceilings look like the night sky when lights are turned off, making them a pretty and undeniably star-shaped decoration, right? Well, not according to whoever translated their name they're not. The first translation is next to a German flag. The sous-marin is actually French for submarine. Likewise, the German translation is next to the flag of the Netherlands. But Pakubut means submersible. Maybe we'll have luck with the third one, which shows either the Italian or Irish flag next to a Dutch word, and goes one step further to mean diving submarine. But all submarines don't. Without the diving element, a submarine isn't. It. It's just. It's just a boat. Basically, none of these translations mean glow in the dark stars. I think it might be time this company fired the translator. Call me a purist, but I prefer a paperback book over an ebook. It might be more expensive, but you know where you stand with a real book. At least I always assumed you did, considering someone added in a passage on this page encouraging readers to click here for a free audiobook download. Sorry to disappoint whoever thought this was a smart idea, but you cannot click a book. In all seriousness, though, this is likely a bootleg book that's been downloaded from an ebook file and printed illegally in the hopes of turning a quick buck. If only these thieving idiots had read a few more books themselves. Now, you might be old enough to remember a time before wireless earbuds, AirPods, and Bluetooth headphones. These were the dark days of wired headphones, where if you put them in your pockets for even a second, they'd come out in a knot so tough it'd make a sailor cry. There was only one thing worse than the inevitable earphone knot, and that was buying earphones that had been assembled by someone who clearly hadn't been paying attention. The jack and earbud of these earphones have somehow been attached the wrong way around. And before any kids try to tell me these are VR earbuds designed to plug in and reach around the massive headpieces, these earphones came with the 2000 Sony Ericsson Watson phone. You're watching
Contestants
the thing we use for
so
spot
musical.
right. There was
These
the four bottom
are
shot. The saying goes, fail to plan, you can fail. However, even if you study planning at Ball State University, Indiana,
so let's
you
go.
might still fail. If the sign over the college architecture and planning loading
Contest
what?
OG
It's just
for
a bad
PvP.
joke. You'd think it was Photoshop. But it was. Yep, back in 1982, the Fire Building was expanded, changing the size of one of the entryways to transform it into a loading dock. When the
Each
contractors
other
asked the dean if he wanted to have letters in the
other
entrance with space, he said, no, it's the loading dock. Stick any extra letters on the wall. Funny. Sadly, the sign was later removed following another refurbishment.
also
And you gotta love college life. So there are two rules for installing.
started
Number one, make sure there's no water around. You don't need to be good enough, no electricity, but water equals danger. Number two, make sure everything's turned off at the mains before you start drilling through walls or changing cables. Live wires equals danger. And number three, don't be stupid, because stupidity plus electricity is this. Someone genuinely installed a stop door. Are they expecting people to limbo their way out of the room now? Well, I'm no master of electrician, so if anybody experienced out there has any idea why someone thought this was a completely normal thing to do, please let me know down below. Now, according to the history books, there was a man who always had more than one job and still managed to complete all his tasks perfectly. That man's name? Okay, maybe not, but definitely the Bible. But he wasn't busy feeding the 5,000 fish and bread, turning water to wine. He's even doing it to this day. I don't believe me? Then explain this aisle in a British grocery store. That sign clearly says water, but all consider this proof that Jesus shops at Tesco. Or more likely, someone reorganized his shelves and forgot to change over the signs. At least, I hope that's the case. Otherwise, I dread to think what the fish section and bakery aisle look like. Now, as a guy, I'd argue that peeing in a urinal isn't something you necessarily need to solve. Sure, well, privacy is nice, but providing no one needs to rubbernecking over to get a good look, can get your business done without feeling too exposed. Going for a number two, though? Oh, you need so. Imagine walking into the restrooms and locking eyes with someone with hands around their ankles, grunting and straining their way through a brutal bowel movement. No, thanks. However, there clearly was logic behind being employed by whoever approved the installation of this stall. I want to say the contractors should have realized this was so very, very wrong, but it's more likely that the person's verifying the plans and taking saw measurements was at fault, not realizing the urinal toilet or the other way around. Well, this urinal certainly puts the P in privacy. Which of these jobs do you think could have managed without screwing up? And do you have any stories of your own? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for seen a misspelled spine or something that felt slightly off center and something that infuriates you down to the very core of your being. Of course you have. This is the internet. And nothing stokes the fire of collective internet rage like a simple job that someone has somehow done wrong. Like getting the cheeseburger you ordered with everything in it except the burger. Or going to buy a jar of pickles, but someone has forgotten to put the pickle. How do you even go into the pickle brine, but there's no pickles in the pickle? You know what? Before I lose him,
Ooh.
one simple job and somehow killed them. No matter what language it's in, you know what this iconic red octagonal sign means, don't you? Yeah, stop. It may look slightly different in certain countries, but there's a universal understanding of what these signs look like. Well, almost universal. Because somewhere in America, it's my God, it looks like someone designed this in a Word document. Why the heck is the word stop so far away from the octagon? No stop sign has ever looked like this before, so why did absolutely no one question this before putting it on? Well, whatever the reason, we can all. You know what else is pretty universal? Knowing the order of colors traffic lights. They're red, amber, and green in that order, signifying stop, wait, and go. Unless, of course, you're in this sign is anything to go by. I can think of only two reasons why this might have been arrested the wrong way. The first whose job it was to put up was colorblind or to put too lazy to care. Who do you think it was? Let me know down in the comments. Fried chicken is an S tier food, but some fried chicken sound better in my opinion. My personal favorite used to be Jollibees. Not anymore though, since I learned in 2021 a Jollibee's establishment in
So
served me one of the quickest fried chicken piece. Howl. Yeah, that's a dishcloth. That is a used, dirty, nasty dishcloth. My God, imagine biting into that cloth. Now, I'm no chef, but in order to get that crispy coat, that towel would have had to have been battered, floured, and then dumped into the fire. And you're telling me no one noticed that this was not a piece of chicken at any stage of this process? Yeah. So for all of the above suggestions, chicken establishment. What do you think? Let me know. Public restrooms sometimes have faucets with those fancy sensors on them. You wave your hand to activate the water flow. Saves you from touching any handles or valves. Turns the water off automatically to stop waste. Simple concept, right? Well, not whoever designed this activity. The sensor only activates when you bring your hand directly under the curve of the faucet, and then cuts off almost completely. You can't reach the water in time to actually reducing essential weight the way she looked at the I imagine they're the kind of person who now, as I was scouring the weirdest examples of screwing up one single job I could find, I came across it. Yeah, that's the word. Capable of painting two straight stretches along the road. But on closer inspection, with all the weird blurring and who most definitely from the okay, that means someone wasn't actually dumb enough to make the mistake. Those lines don't actually exist. Oh, I don't think they exist. They look worse now that I know they're real. Okay, let's not lose our cool over this. I don't think it's paint, but if it's non-permanent cluster, so it's being linked. If the tape comes loose, the lines look okay. So no one's permanently cool. Although that obviously wasn't the case here. Someone was clearly told to mark the curve, and boy, did they follow their instructions to the letter. That terrible, worn down, broken edge curve is now barely visible to everyone. I can't tell if this is a bad job done good or a good job done bad. When it comes to the world of online fashion, Photoshop is essential. Retouching the image so that they look unrealistically good while also making it look completely natural is all part of the marketing thing. But some things go unchecked as plus size fashion brand simply Imagine a day until someone picked up on the fact that the model's hands look more like a rake made of fingers. Somehow, this super obvious editing error made it onto their store page for the whole world to see. Certainly ruins the illusion of this being an all-natural image. Okay, love eating it. Couldn't make one if my life depended on it. But if we were making a cake with numbered pins, I think I could probably manage to get them in the right way around. Whoever decorated this tasty looking cake here, I really joke. Otherwise, it means someone spent a good hour carefully icing and piping the decorations on here before realizing that the heaven is the wrong way around. What's even funnier is that with the way I read it, it looks like the cake says, Happy Justin birthday. Well, whoever this cake was intended for had a very happy 37th, Justin. It's not the worst cake crime out there, though. At some point, someone had the inspired idea to turn the deluxe album cover of Grace Nothing Was the Same. A pretty niche choice, but it seems simple enough. It's mainly a side profile of the artist set against a blue, cloudy sky. There's not too many ways this can go wrong. Oh. How do you get the proportions that wrong? Looks like a side profile of Kermit the Frog. Well, clearly the person who made this wasn't an artist, but yeah. How long did you think his neck needed to be? Forget a hate crime on a plate. This is a hate crime against Drake. Well, cakes decorated as badly as that, could make you question someone's sanity. Cutting a cake like this, you know, yes, I know mathematically it gives you more servings, but as a triangle purist, just still hate it. However, I think we can all agree that whoever cut this cake needs help, psychiatric help. All they had to do was cut the cake into 11 pieces, and in achieving this, they managed to do it in the most convoluted, non-creative way possible. Can you imagine if someone tried to serve you that cursed middle slice? It'd feel like a personal attack. Okay. Well, I could maybe forgive cutting a cake like that. They did cut I'm afraid I'm going to have to revoke the cutting license of whoever sliced this pizza. What did, how did you, no, there's not a single cut on this pie that's relative to any of the others. It's like they started trying to cut it in half along the middle, but then tried to cut it straight across into thirds until it was just a mad mix of mini slices and giant slices. What's worse, this is a delivery pizza. So someone was paid to cut it this badly. Oh, this gives me trust issues. It's pretty embarrassing getting something wrong
Dude.
and messing something up. But could you imagine getting it wrong on live national TV with hundreds of thousands of people watching? Well, that's something Karen Olsen, New Zealand's One News weather reporter and meteorologist, had to deal with back in 2009. This happened.
Today, easterly gale with a 120 kilometres an hour, recorded about Chicago Harbour.
Well, someone really forgot they needed to edit this text. This text, and this text. Either that or edit text here. Looks like it had great weather this time of year. Not to Karen's credit, while meteorologists often prepare their own slides, this might have been a job left for someone else in the studio. Either way, I bet airing that really rained on
Push the clock.
their Big Mac burger. You grab a pre-sized toasted bun with 3 parts to it and drop them into the burger box. With the top of the bun and middle of the bun and the lid, add a little special sauce to both sides, along with onions, lettuce, gherkins, and cheese. Add 2 patties, one each side, then gripping the middle bun, move everything except the top bun to the bottom of the bun. Close the box on the top of the bun. Keep the sandwich in. Voila! One Big Mac ready to go. That doesn't seem hard, does it? So, riddle me this. What happened here? All they had to do was move the middle section of the bun onto the bottom section to distribute the patties and bread evenly. Instead, they closed the box and called it a day, leaving this guy with deviled bread. Man, what sort of clown is making the burgers in his joint? Renovating a room is no easy task. Adding an extra wall into a space sounds easy enough, but it only takes one person measuring one thing incorrectly, and you end up with some nonsense like this. Incredible. They were so committed to putting up a wall here that they built it over the set of inlaid drawers, rendering them entirely useless. Really hope they at least emptied them before doing so. Otherwise, the only way into these drawers is going to be by way of a very large mirror. In my experience, induction stoves are a dangerous thing. And because there's no flame involved, just metal made hot, I will all too often lose track of which hob is on and which hob is off, especially on induction stoves that have that sleek, glassy blacktop finish. Without the markings showing where each of the hobs is, I never even know where to put the pan. So, whoever's job it was to ensure this hob lined up with these markings, woo, I hope it popped up with the bottom of the pan. Europeans routinely mock American toilet behavior, mainly because American stall designs are less loose when it comes to privacy. Where European partitions fit snugly to the floors and walls, American partitions are actually viewing gallery. Thankfully, one designer has solved this gaping gap problem by creating a stall that just puts everything on shelves. Wait, it's not. What's going on here? Oh, I see. From the notches on the bottom of the poles there, it looks like someone installed them upside down. So when the doors were later attached, they were much higher. I mean, I think because someone put that first door on, which was insanely exposing, and then continued to put the other doors on in the same way. Maybe it's just someone that made a toilet paper. What's your favorite day of the week? For me, it's the ninth day. You know, that well-known, beloved, universally accepted concept of the ninth day of the week. Huh? Oh, what do you mean there's no ninth day? If there's no ninth day, then why in the ever-loving heck does this store claim it's open 9 days a week? It's not Photoshop because there are hundreds of pictures of the same decal sporting the exact same insane message online. It turns out this is America's famous 99-cent store chain, which decided to add a little to its walls and play on the nines in its name. Haha, yes, I'm definitely laughing. It is so funny. This has not made me angry at all. There must also be a similar joke theme occurring at this store, which claims to open 25 hours. It's funny because we all know there's 24 hours in a day. No, that's a joke. That's no. Someone at this off license in East London, UK, genuinely thought that being open 25 hours a day was possible, which is made even worse. The fact that the sign behind this sign claiming the shop is open 24 hours a day. Well, this was a fun look into the average British IQ, wasn't it? You ever look at someone and wonder, what the heck is going on inside their mind? They could be the kindest, sweetest, most beautiful person in the whole world, but when you ask them to slice an avocado, they do this. What in God's name were they using to cut these up? A chainsaw? It's pure psychopath behavior. Everyone knows you cut around the seed of the center. Also, I can tell from here, those avocados were right. Okay, maybe I'm being too judgmental. Maybe these people have never cut an avocado before, but they must have other foods with hard things at their center. Peaches or Mentos. They wouldn't cut straight through the ham for sweeping up a rack of meat, would they? Would they? I'm never going to be able to look at guacamole the same. Oh, I have a question. I need everyone watching to answer down below in the comments so that I know I'm not going crazy. Here we go. The big question. What are these? No, I'm not trying to trick you. Tell me what these are down in the comments. Got your answer right? Okay, good. They're bananas. A bunch of bananas. We all know that. Everyone knows that. So please, please tell me why the person labeling them in the store called them long yellow things. I want to blame this on a translation error somewhere, but more often than not, the translation of the word banana is some variation of banana. Maybe the labeler had a memory blank. Maybe they didn't know that they were bananas or plantains. Maybe they had a stroke. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. I have no problem admitting I'm awful at sports. My hand-eye coordination is terrible, and I get out of breath watching other people run. Safe to say, knowing this, I wouldn't put myself forward to play competitive basketball. Something this kid learned the hard way. You can see him reaching to try and block that other player, but the fact that he's got both feet planted on the ground, both eyes closed, and is a tracking guy who's just left past him. I'm pretty sure he can detect that he does not, in fact, have the ability to block. I'm no plumber, no electrician, but even I know that power sockets and water do not go together. Not even a little, because water is a great conductor of electricity. So water with an electrical current passing through equals instant fatality. Which was either an electrician or a plumber that okayed this secret spicy sink creation. Yeah, that's a power socket built into the side of the sink. Whoever installed this is either trying to win a spot on my Darwin Awards theory or is a practical joke. I reckon someone stuck an electrical socket cover off to the side of the sink just to give someone else a heart attack. Well, it worked. Consider me. No, it doesn't matter how simple a request is. You can guarantee someone will find a way to get it wrong. For example, if I asked you to refill the soap dispenser, what would you do? Well, you'd refill it with liquid soap, wouldn't you? You wouldn't. I don't know. Soap in it, like this janitor did. Because that doesn't make any sense. Yes, they've technically refilled the soap, but how is anyone meant to use it now? I mean, what's the point of having this done in the first place? Oh, forget washing my hands. After seeing that, I'm gonna need a bath to feel clean. Pasta. Everyone loves pasta, whether it's spaghetti, fusilli, macaroni, laundry detergent, fettuccine, ravioli. Wait. What? Laundry detergent? You don't think laundry detergent is a kind of pasta? Well, according to whoever stacked these shelves, it is. Mmm, tasty bleach flavor. Okay, yes, it's obvious someone forgot to move these idle signs around. But considering that in 2017, eating Tide Pods became a meme, I wouldn't put eating laundry detergent past that. Have you ever played bocce? It's a ball-based sport akin to usually played on natural soil or sand court. It's not a well-known sport, but popularity is growing. with new bocce courts being built all over the place. But it's pretty clear people don't know what bocce is. And you can tell by this. Yep, installing the most useless gate here hasn't made the court just look weird. It's also allowing some of the sand to escape too. We're 2 for 2 on the idiot elements of this design. Whether or not you follow the teachings of the Bible, you're probably familiar with the story of Noah's Ark. On the off chance you don't know it, the story goes that God flooded the earth to get rid of all the wicked humans and told Noah to build a big old ark that could carry 2 of
Two
them
best jokes.
they might contain. It's a pretty dark story when you look into it. There are a lot of questions around inbreeding, but that aside, it's kind of a popular children's book and features in a lot of Christian storybooks. However, there's been something of a systematic failing in the biblical storybook illustration community regarding key parts of the core. Because illustrations of all the animals boarding a ship will almost always show 2 male lions. Only male lions have large prescribed bones, yet all of them show both lions boarding males. Good luck breeding them. All these artists had to do was draw one without the fancy hairdo. Although even in pieces of Renaissance art, each lions both have names. But there's also unicorns on the
Two
art,
jokes were the
so
best.
maybe the reason we don't have to look there and choose those. We're choosing.
Final joke.
But hey now, biblical
Going
children's
to the
illustrations
final
are the only
joke.
ones that speak to basic biology right. If the mural on its
Get it block.
That's right, kids. We all know that elephants
So
are disturbingly human now.
let's go.
Combo on top of their trunks. That's a totally normal anatomy for an elephant to have. There's nothing wrong with this. I think we need to introduce a new rule. If you don't know what an animal looks like, then you shouldn't be in charge of painting said animal on anything. You know, we live in a society that doesn't cater to the disabled population all that well. Case in point, over in El Salvador, these stairs have been marked with the wheelchair accessible symbol, despite the obvious issues with that entire statement. This has to be some sort of sick joke. Either that or someone in El Salvador doesn't know how hard wheelchair users have it. Well, at some point, I hope they lose their ability to move their legs and they can see how funny those stairs are then. Usually, disability signs indicate what someone may struggle with, so that those around them can more easily identify how to help. But I'm kind of struggling to figure out which disability this parking spot is meant to cater to. Wheel headism, having legs for arms. Oh no, I've got it. It's for those who need to get their head out of their butt. Yes, I'm aware that this is probably a case of someone making a symbol for the state wrong. I just prefer the idea that people with their head up their ass can now be classed as disabled. It may come as a shock to learn that not just anyone can design a playground. No, you need to take a course, put in the work, and pay for the accreditation. Who knew? Certainly not whoever designed this health and safety hazard swing set. Hey, little Timmy, want to go for a swing? Singular, not plural. Because after one would, you need to go straight to the hospital. Luckily for all the children of the world, this is not a real swing set. It was part of an advert designed by Canadian broadcast company Sirius XM as part of their top competition. I think we're all wrapped in now. Okay. Mass-produced toys are often made for a mass-demand market, as every kid wants a popular doll, figurine, or plush of them. And the only issue with cheap mass production methods, though, is that each product isn't always assessed by the quality control procedures, meaning major misprints on plastic dolls like this come to the shelf. I mean, I've heard of a wandering eye before, but wandering eyebrow is pushing it. But at least this doll had its head screwed on straight. The same can't be said for this unlucky Minecraft. Plushies are often sewn and put together by hand. Even someone sewed this one on the wrong way around. And oh, that quality control, they just would know, which they didn't until it was lined up next to all the other treatments. Who knew it was possible for these things to look even more hostile than they already did? I tell you, I'm an absolute fiend for a chocolate chip cookie. A snack with the perfect ratio of chocolate chip and delicious dough. Unless, of course, you buy one from this college campus cafe. All the baker had to do was add the chocolate chips to the cookie mix before they, instead, they put them on top of the cookie, like they're sprinkles. Won't they just fall right off when you go to take a bite? What kind of sadist made these? Surely it'd be less emotional damage to admit you forgot to add the chocolate chip cookies to the mix and make a few batches of cookies instead of serving up these travesties to the public. Well, it could always be worse. Could be oatmeal raisin. Finland has some of the best public train service in the entire world. The trains are all modern, clean, affordable. However, the government-owned railway company, ER, has something on their trains that makes passengers who are paying attention look twice. You see it. There's something off about this, but I can't quite put my finger on it. For some unknown reason, the push sign on the doors of this train displays a hand with 6 fingers. At first, I assumed this must be a designer messing up. Either that or the finished half very different anatomy from the rest. But it turns out these are functional art pieces from Arto Kukasniemi, who designed them to be talking pieces while passengers were on the train. So not the work of a six-fingered fool. I'm almost disappointed. Okay, so I can sort of understand when someone gets the one job they're in charge of wrong. These things happen. Might just be a bad day. Whatever. But when they get the same job wrong twice in two totally different ways, I have to
Okay.
believe that's possible. Like here, where in the middle of the grocery store, someone has added a label for the price of onions onto a gigantic cardboard bin that's already labeled potatoes. That on its own, I can understand. Potatoes, onions, similar shapes, similar size. You know what isn't similar to either of these vegetables, though? Watermelons. Ugh, I know that in retail you just have to work with what you've got, but it makes me want to go full Karen and speak to the manager. Now, for all the judgment that American food gets, British cuisine is on a whole other level. I know I've mentioned the old pie sandwich, also known as the Whitney kebab, at least once before in my previous videos. But there's also the utterly baffling toast sandwich. Yep, that's a toasted slice of bread in between two slices of bread. There's also plain cucumber sandwiches, hot noodle sandwiches, and that's a sugar sandwich. God, is there anything in the UK that they won't put on bread? Okay, before all the Brits watching get their knickers in a twist, I have sampled your cuisine, and I do like something. A steak and kidney pie with fries, or as you call them, chips with peas and gravy. Absolutely capital shock. Although maybe not in this place, because whoever photoshopped the peas onto this picture of a plate on the menu somehow managed to edit them on the wrong way. It feels a bit like an optical illusion. Those peas are literally upside down. It would have been less work to just put the peas on the plate and photograph instead of going through all the editing. Looks like I don't have kids. From what I hear, the teenage years are the worst. When it's not moody outbursts or angsty social media posts, it's acts of malicious compliance. That's Reddit user Zombie Clown knows all too well. A few years ago, they asked their teenager a list of chores to do. Simple things that even a month could accomplish, like put a new paper towel on the paper towel holder. However, when they returned, they were greeted with this. I mean, technically, it is on the holder, but surely it would have taken less effort and time to do it right than they could have gotten back to, I don't know, posting dance videos for the world to laugh at or tweeting from accounts with cringy anime avatars. Yeah, I've got no idea what teams do. Considering how easy it could have been to put that paper towel on the holder, I wonder if that same teenager is responsible for this street crime. It would have taken the person who lifted this manhole cover up no effort to rotate it 180 degrees and set it back down, completing the otherwise perfect spiral of stonework here. But no, They had to make it mildly infuriating to look at instead.
Doors of you.
Every kid should feel safe when they're in school, which is why so many institutions go out of their way to make everything as kid safe as possible. Like here, they've marked the area on the floor where the door opens. So any kid racing down the corridor knows to avoid the area and doesn't accidentally slam into it. The only problem is that the door doesn't actually open that way. It opens the other way. Hmm. Maybe at school, but ever laid down that deep still has some learning to do. Now, education are very important for developing learning, which is why Australia Well Dressed offers a range of revision books to help kids study for their next. There's just one small tiny problem. Some of their paperback books that they list on their website rely on instructions to complete the task.
So,
Is to click the play button in the book.
so
That's taking pretend play to a whole other level. Initially, I thought this product was just listed wrong online. Surely the people responsible for teaching Australia's kids the educational fundamentals would have double checked their work like the responsible adults they are. And actually put it on placement section. Nope, nope, they actually well, if these kids fail the test, at least they know who to blame. Ask and rest. Gosh, this year is going so fast. Feels like only yesterday we were celebrating 2202. Yes, 2202. We all know we're in 23rd century. Common knowledge. We're in 2202. Oh, we're not? Well, at least one person thinks we are. These celebration lights or anything to go by. Like, I can understand not knowing what day it is, but the year. Maybe whoever was erecting these lights didn't know which way around number two was meant to go uh, three times in a row. I think I only had a few minor breakdowns during that. Which of these super simple jobs do you think was screwed up in the funniest way? And if you have any examples of your own, let me know down in the comments below. And thanks for watching.
No, frutti c'è il frutto, non 27% di origine naturale, 7% formaggio di cristallo, 50% di fonti spiegate, ogni mette giù con un frutto scorrere, la maschera del blu.
easy.
Here we are again. My favorite place on the internet, Wish.com. A site where you can buy just about anything for practically nothing. Yeah, if that sounds too good to be true, it's because it is, which I proved in parts 1 and 2 of this series. From suspiciously cheap technology to literal fire hazards, I bought it all, so you don't have to. And considering how much you guys seem to get out of it, I'm here to review even more products I found. Seriously, there's no end to the weirdness or danger you can find on this site. From suspiciously cheap smartphones to watches to, oh my god, what even is that? Well, let's find out. Please, pray for me. And my walk.
Did you see that?
Fake phone. Smartphones today are
Explode
super pricey, with handsets of some of the latest Android compatible phones coming in at more than $1,800. Although I don't recognize this handset listed on Wish. It's got the outer appearance of an iPhone, but the product description claims it's an Android. It's so good that apparently it has dual SIM capability, and all for $60. It's not sus at all. Obviously, I had to purchase this Franken phone to see what the heck was going on, and boy, was I not surprised. For a start, the packaging had the phrase, Android is a trademark of Google Inc. printed not once, but twice. I guess the manufacturer is trying really hard to convince people this is genuine. Okay, let's look at the handset itself and turn it on. No, welcome. That's very polite. Here we go. So is it just me, or do all of those look like Apple icons? the settings, calendar, contacts, and if this were real Android software, famously owned by Google, why would it have Safari as the default browser instead of, Google Chrome? The clue is in the name. What is going on here? All right, well, let's open up the gallery and, oh, there's already a file in here. Maybe a tutorial or, nope, it's a K-pop music video. That makes sense. Maybe I'll have better luck with the torch function. Well, that's pretty dim. Camera, I mean, considering the three massive lenses, it's not the best quality. Okay, for 60 bucks, I'm honestly surprised it even works. But is it legal to use Apple's iOS icons, which are protected by some pretty stringent copyright protection, to make this look more like a real Apple licensed device? Almost definitely not. Verdict, pretty phony. Lighter watch. Ever feel like you have too many accessories? Wish you could double some of them up? Like a wallet belt, lift out, sunglasses, shoes with socks built in, or a lighter watch. At least two of those sound insane, but I'm here to tell you that the last one, the lighter watch, is very real over on Wish.com. Perfect for people who need the time and a light in the exact same moment. I figured this had to be a joke, so for $5, I ordered one, half expecting a regular lighter guaranteed to keep warm. But what arrived surprised me. It was exactly the same as the image in the product listing. And what's more, the watch worked. A sliding button on the side provides the buttons to work the lighter. But even after I filled up the watch with lighter fluid, I could feel light. After looking at the reviews, though, it seems several other customers have gotten it to work, which is both hilarious and terrifying. Was I expecting this to work? No. Am I glad it didn't? For me, yes. There's just something about a cheap $5 watch filled to the brim with flammable liquid that I don't feel comfortable strapping to my wrist. Verdict, some things like whipped cream. Every day, millions of people search for quick weight loss solutions. We all know the answer is eat less, move more, but we all want there to be a magic lotion that just melts excess body fat off instantly, like this product Wish suggested. With a title that proudly states, Sweat Cream, how can I resist? Promising it'll burn fat, reduce cellulite, and that it even comes in tropical flavor, smell, whatever it was, but and when it arrived, oh, this did not. It smelled like chemicals and danger, and for some reason, it was a luminous green. It didn't come with any ingredient list, so for all you know, there could be rat poison in there. Rule number one on the internet, never apply any product you buy to your skin without knowing what's in it, especially one that promises to burn, burn, burn. Verdict, eat less, move more, and do not buy the mysterious danger cream for me. Now, there's one part of Wish.com that really terrifies me, the beauty cosmetics section. You can find thousands of body altering products that have no ingredients, look like torture devices, and what the heck is that? Is that woman's nose a strawberry? Oh, she's not the only one. There are hundreds of listings showing women with weirdly photoshopped strawberry noses being sucked at by whatever these things are. Okay, I'm not questioning it. I'm just going to hit buy on the one showing the least traumatized looking woman. Oh, nice. This one apparently comes with a camera setting, so I can see my pores. Whatever. Take my money, all $10 of it, and do this. Well, after a few weeks, and I finally learned what it was. A visible blackhead apparatus. Blackheads being the buildups of oil and dead skin you can get in your pores. Oh, and the camera is to record yourself removing those blackheads. Wait, there's a whole YouTube space dedicated to videos of that? Oh man, as a species, we are so weird. Anyway, a quick look at the instructions told me please do not use scrub or other horny products before and after use. Horny? Okay. Well, try as I might, I couldn't get the supposed camera feature to work. So I fixed one of the nozzles, turned it on, and oh, yeah, that sucks quite hard. I was a little apprehensive about putting this on my face, but after remembering it's not exactly my moneymaker, I got to work. Well, hey, nose reveal there for the fans. I tried a few different techniques. Left it in one spot for a bit, slowly dragged it down, and gave me a nice circular suction mark, but failed to remove any of my blackheads. I tried it in a few more spots, but with no success. And my nose isn't a strawberry. What about false advertising? Verdict? This sucked, and not in a good way. Get grid. I'm a simple man who really enjoys a potato grid. Something about the lattice just makes them taste better, in my opinion. So imagine my surprise when Wish.com read my mind and offered me what seems to be a potato grid maker. And for $10, that's almost how much I spend on potato grids every day. Instabuy. Well, it arrived without any instructions. So it was up to me to figure out how to slice this bad boy without dicing up my own fingers. The first few test runs were okay, but I finally realized if you turn the potato 90 degrees after you cut it, slice again, you get a grid. Neat. However, what I can't show you is how badly I messed up my fingers on the unexpectedly super sharp blade of this thing. I got too eager for grids, and now I'm missing part of my fingertip. Ugh. I just lost my appetite. No ear pods. If you love bad English as much as I do, then you're going to love this next thing I found. As I was scrolling through Wish.com's text section, a sentence at the top of an image caught my eye. Younger than me does not exist. When I eventually stopped laughing, I took a look at the product title and saw this was for a 2022 Super Mini Invisible Earphone Nano Size No Pain. Although all of this is apparently a lie, because in the description it reads, wearing is not invisible, you will feel pain in your ears. Man, I love a product that sounds like a threat. The description continued, no ears. No ears. Yep, had to state that twice for some reason. It does not enter the ears. Even children can relax. This gets more confusing and sinister by the minute. So obviously, I had to get it. I eagerly awaited the promised Tic Tac sized earphones that are perfect for children and people without ears, but when they arrived, they were just normal earbuds. They were slightly smaller than the standard set of wireless earbuds, I admit, which is one see them here in my ears. And for all the conflicting threats, I did feel some pain when I remembered I'd spent $26 on these. Worth it.
Proprio potere sia proprio sceso di Picalcone a Primazia. Però è posto su di sta, quindi che mi serve a usare. Di Picalcone a scusa.
Worth it for the bad English. Hell's Kitchen. Alright, as I've established in many videos before this, I can't cook. So, when I see people making pastry masterpieces like this, with impossible looking lattice designs on top, I just assume witchcraft is involved. But Wish.com tells me that actually, there's a tool for that. A specific tool that just makes pastry lattices. I mean, me, a kitchen novice, that sounds way too cool to be true. But also, which makes me think this picture had been copied from somewhere else on the internet, used by the seller to try and turn a quick buck. But hey, for $3, well, let's go ahead and see what we get. Okay, at a glance, this looks like it's just a little roll plastic alternating blades. Now let's test it out. I bought some pre-rolled pastry because if I'd actually attempted to make something, I'd have probably burned my house to the ground. And then I let it rip. And would you believe it? It actually worked. For all my clumsy handling and butterfingers, this came out better than I could have imagined. You just gently prise it apart and voila, easy pastry lax. Oh, I feel like a real adult. Can someone teach me how to make the rest of the pie? Feeling good. While some Wish products look pointless, there are others that overcomplicate very simple tasks, like this self-contained vegetable peeler. At first glance, it looks like it could be kind of handy, but why not just peel your veg off a bag or trash can if you're worried about mess? Yeah, it seems ingenious until you take it apart. So, to literally take it apart, I decided to spend $3 and order one. All right, it arrived without any instructions, so it's easy peeling the images promised. The blade was dull, and I had to hack this poor cucumber to get any of the peel away, because all of the peel is in one. To use it again. Make sure every moment at the mission before you start drilling through walls and cable steel. Nothing. And number three, don't be stupid. Because stupidity plus electricity. Someone genuinely installed a coffee Fall Guys, the Battle Royale video game where you played as a bunch of jelly beans competing in hopes of winning a crown. God, lockdown was a weird time. Well, the jelly bean legacy lives on in the form of Wish.com's 100% definitely not licensed Fall Guys here inflatable costumes. Man, the word inspired is doing a lot of but what I got was not that. Well, the inflation device was similar to the green blob costume I bought in part two. The color was definitely not hot pink. Nevertheless, I got in, asked my cameraman to zip me up, and yeah, that's me in the suit. The suit, which is definitely not what I would consider adult. So my face definitely isn't where my face is. I thought maybe I just needed to inflate, so just more claustrophobic. I pulled some poses though, and then tried to attach my crowd. Uh, the struggle was so very real. My cameraman could have helped me at any point, but figured he'd watch me try and do this myself with my tiny, uselessly inflated arms like a broken T-Rex. Thanks, Rodrigo. Verdict: I did not win today. I can fling my sword. So, Wish.com has a few rules, believe it or not, regarding what can and can't be sold on the site. One of those regards prohibited items by country, which for almost every country includes dangerous items like knives and swords. So imagine my shock when I come across this thing. Yeah, that's a sword, apparently from the Game of Thrones TV show. No, wait, let's look at this title. It's an antique silver letter opener, so basically a fancy knife. Wish.com restrictions be damned. And for $5, I had to get it, if only to prove how lax Wish restrictions really were. However, I wasn't just proved wrong, I was also thoroughly humiliated by the seller, because this is what arrived. Compared to a quarter, it's minuscule. The bubbling in the blade part. This round, Wish. Yes. Like this. Pay no attention to the clearly visible. And clearly that wasn't my size. Two fish. Well, it's certainly something. Sort of think that might have found here is that purchase which now and surprising something I didn't think to exist. Things implanted fake lips, fake silicone. On and purposes but it turns out into practice these although so notice out after I had spent $5 on it. It's surprisingly soft to touch, which was considered hard to see. Things squishy. Two minutes. But let's see if there's anything else I need to know. No. make sure that these
Emang isi sendirian mama. Oh, 什么？